Imagine a world where there are no streetlights, no phone screens, and no bright bulbs anywhere. Just you, a small flickering flame, and hours of complete darkness stretching ahead. For most of us today, this sounds a little terrifying, but for more than 300,000 years, this was simply life. Darkness wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was half of every day. We rarely think about it, but the invention of artificial light is remarkably recent in human history. For nearly all of human history, when the sun went down, the world became genuinely dark, and people had to build their entire routines, cultures, and even beliefs around that darkness. Here's something most people don't know. Our ancestors didn't sleep the way we sleep. We consider 8 hours of continuous sleep normal, but historical diaries, court records, and travel accounts from centuries past tell a different story. People often slept in 2 separate segments. They would go to bed shortly after sunset, sleep for 3 or 4 hours, called first sleep, and then naturally wake up in the middle of the night. This wasn't insomnia. It was expected, common, and even had its own name in several old languages and texts. During this quiet time of waking, people didn't just lie there staring at the ceiling. They would pray, talk with their spouse, get up to do light chores, some would write, read by candlelight, or simply sit with their thoughts. Then, after an hour or 2, they would drift into second sleep, which carried them through to morning. There was a strange kind of closeness and peace in this midnight hour. Without screens, without noise, without any distraction, people were left alone with their own minds. Some historians believe this quiet, dark time was when people processed their grief, made big decisions, or simply reflected on the day gone by. Tribes and settlements also built their own rituals around the night. Fire was kept burning not just for warmth, but also for protection from the cold, from animals, and honestly, from fear of the unknown. Storytelling flourished during these hours. Long before books and screens, oral stories, tales, and lessons were passed down to the next generation around the fire at midnight, when imagination was at its peak. The night was, in a strange way, safer for certain thoughts too. Free from daily labor and society's expectations, many people describe this time as when their true self came out. Fears, hopes, and honest thoughts, all under the cover of darkness. For thousands of years, humans could only push back darkness through fire. Torches, oil lamps, and candles were expensive, limited, and often dangerous. Only wealthy people could really afford to extend their day after sunset. Then, slowly, things began to change. Gas lighting came to cities, transforming the character of streets and homes. Wealthy households began staying up later, working later, and socializing later. But it was really the electric light bulb, invented in the late 1800s, that completely rewrote humanity's relationship with the night. Suddenly, darkness could be pushed back with just the press of a button. Factories could run all night long, cities no longer needed to sleep at all. And gradually, the idea of 2 sleeps faded from culture and memory, replaced by the single continuous sleep we now consider normal. Artificial light brought incredible progress, but also a quiet loss. That restless midnight hour, once seen as natural and valuable, became something to fear or fix. If you wake up at 3 a.m. today, you probably think something is wrong with you, insomnia, stress, or anxiety. But for most of human history, that very waking moment was simply part of being human. We lost something else too, true darkness. Today's studies show that most people rarely experience genuine, uninterrupted darkness anymore. Streetlights, screens, standby lights on electronics, light pollution surrounds us constantly, and with it, our natural rhythms have shifted in ways scientists are still trying to fully understand. Today, some researchers and sleep scientists are revisiting this old pattern. 1 or 2 experiments, placing people in environments without artificial light for weeks, found that many participants naturally settled back into that same 2-part sleep pattern, with a calm waking period in between. This raises an interesting question. Is our modern screen-lit single-block sleep actually working against something deeply built into us? Could those restless nights we blame on stress actually be an old forgotten rhythm trying to resurface? Next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, maybe don't reach for your phone right away. Because for most of human history, that very waking moment was simply part of being human. There was no problem to solve. Just the continuity of being human.